Hi, my name's Lee and I'm from Pet Search, and this is just a follow-up video to our video that was posted the other day on using a stud finder to find a microchip. We've had a lot of feedback and people get in touch with us about it, so I just wanted to use this as a chance to respond to some of the queries, and possibly other people out there might be thinking and asking the same thing, but we just haven't heard from them. So the first question we got asked was whether, if you're using a stud finder on a microchip that still possibly is working, can it damage the chip? And I can see where that's coming from in terms of it being a magnet or looking for something metal. The short answer is no, and the only way we know this is through the fact that we have animals, particularly, for example, this little doggy Gemma, who has probably been scanned with a stud finder probably 40-50 times in demonstration purposes, and her microchip is still working. So I have a microchip scanner here and scan her microchip and it does come up. So that's the only kind of reason I can say that. If anybody has any other experience, please get in touch, because if there is a problem, of course we'd love to let people know. The other reason that we got asked is why do this? Why scan a doggy or a cat for a microchip if it's not actually readable? And this is a really good one because it's becoming more and more crucial. There are lots of people out there who want to help pets get home, and the problem is that, as we know, pretty much across the world, shelters and pounds are completely full, and so a lot of people are trying to get animals home as volunteers with the pounds, or even volunteers in rescue groups who are outside of the pound trying to get animals home. Now, in a lot of countries, Australia where we are, but also in different states within Australia, there are different laws for microchipped animals to those that aren't microchipped. So, for example, some pounds and in some states will actually legally have to hold a microchipped animal for 14 days rather than a non-microchipped animal for 7 days. So, being a person that wants to help an animal have more of a chance of finding either their owner or a new home, if you can find a microchip in an animal using a stud finder, then you have a good argument with that pound or that shelter to actually hold that animal a lot longer. So in the law, from our understanding and reading of it, is the microchip itself doesn't have to be working, doesn't have to be readable. It doesn't say anything about that requirement in the law. It just says that if the animal is microchipped. So if you find an animal that is microchipped with a stud finder but not with a microchip scanner, then that is something definitely to take up with your local pound or shelter, and try and fight for that animal to be given the 14 days legal requirement rather than the 7. So that is something that you might want to keep in the back of your mind. The other thing that's come up is we've had an amazing, clever person, there's probably more than one of you out there as well, that might have this idea, but only one got in touch. Someone suggested to us their version of a homemade metal detector. And for this, all you need is a little transistor radio, and it just has to have AM on it, and a little calculator. It doesn't have to be solar powered, just has to be a calculator. They're around about the similar in size, and this is a homemade metal detector that people have used to find lost items, find coins, various keys, things like that. So what you want to do is put the transistor radio onto the highest AM band that you can without actually being tuned into a radio station. So I've got an AM switch here, switched onto AM, and I've got it up as high as possible without actually being tuned into a particular radio station. So pretty much what you get is static. Then we also need the little calculator, and we need it on. So I'm going to turn the transistor radio on. It is going to be a little bit difficult to demonstrate on a small camera like this, but also the fact that you might not be able to hear the difference in static and change in noise. But what happens is that the actual magnets inside these things will actually work, and they'll change the noise that you hear in terms of the static when you get close to something metal, as in the microchip. And we've been testing it all morning with the different animals that we've had coming in the office, and it's quite interesting. It's quite funny. The noise itself isn't that nice for the animals? They kind of like, what are you doing? They kind of look at you a bit strangely. So it's a little bit different to actual microchip scanner or the stud finder. But it seems to be another opportunity to look at something. So I'll try and give you a demonstration as best I can. So you should be able to hear the static. And when you bring the calculator close, and when we move it over the dog, have them held like that, as close as possible, but not actually touching. And it changes the static when you get near the space of the microchip. So that's just something you might want to try at home. The person that actually suggested this to us has these two items stuck on the inside of an old CD case so that they can fold it up like that, and it's much easier to handle rather than having two hands. You can actually hold it in one and then you can move it around. So by all means, if you've got a better recording and you want us to share it, please let us know. But that's just another thing you might want to try, using a transistor radio and a little calculator. The more things we have to reunite lost pets with their family, or show that they have microchips, and that we can get these things worked out, the better it is. Thank you. If you have any questions about anything on this video or any of our other videos, please get in touch. Our email address is help@petsearch.com.au. Our website is petsearch.com.au, or give us a call 1300 309 004. Thank you.